About a year and a half ago, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission proposed a rule that would have forced manufacturers to install flesh sensing technology, the kind that this very table saw uses, in all table saws sold in the U.S. And yeah, a lot of YouTubers talked about it at the time. But guess what, folks? That ain't happening. The commission announced just this week it is withdrawing that rule. And boy, oh boy, is SawStop gonna be pissed. We need to talk about it. Hey everybody, hola amigos, Lee here from Busted Knuckle Woodworks. This is not going to be one of my usual polished cinematic masterpieces because I'm reacting to some breaking news that happened literally just yesterday. Okay, so let me ask you, are you one of those who believes that the government exists to serve the public? Oh, you sweet, innocent, naive child. Don't you know the real mission of the government is to help make rich guys richer? Let me tell you a little story. Way back in 1999 in Oregon, a guy named Stephen Gass with a law degree and a PhD in physics, so obviously a very smart dude, had the idea to build a table saw with a blade that would stop when in close proximity to anything meaty and delicious. Presumably your finger, but could be a hot dog. In the next year, he presented his prototype to a trade show of manufacturers, and his plan was to license this amazing finger-saving technology. But the very next presenter at that conference, some cockblocker who was a lawyer for Black & Decker, pissed all over Steve's idea, warning the audience that if they adopted this, they would get sued. Sued for making table saws safer. And if that sounds fucked up to you, you would be correct. And so SawStop decided it would make their own table saw. And to that, I say, fantastic. That is exactly the way free markets are supposed to work. And the SawStop became a raging success, an inspiring tale of innovation and enterprise, and everyone lived happily ever after. The end. But no, oh no, that's not the end. Because SawStop saw fit to not stop. You see, in 2001, SawStop was awarded a safety commendation from the Consumer Product Safety Commission, which began a pretty tight relationship between SawStop and the U.S. government. And coincidentally, over the next several years, Steve Gass kind of began to make a hobby of testifying as an expert witness for plaintiffs in table saw lawsuits, claiming that the companies discouraged efforts to make their saws safer by refusing to pay SawStop to license their invention. Of course. And here's where it really starts to get weird, because in 2003, SawStop asked the commission to mandate, by law, the inclusion of so-called active injury mitigation by every table saw sold in the U.S. Technology that only SawStop could provide. Technology that only SawStop owned the patents for. You see what's going on here now? Of course, the commission saw right through this and wanted nothing to do with it. Until about a year and a half ago, in late 2023, when some of the Biden-appointed Democrats on the commission decided it would be just peachy to resurrect this idea. That all table saws sold in the U.S. would, by law, be required to incorporate active injury mitigation, which again was only available from one source. Remember that making rich guys richer thing I mentioned before? And you know, most people aren't stupid. They could smell this a mile away. And so SawStop, in a stunning move of altruism, announced it would donate one of its key patents to the public domain, which some members of the commission called an incredible gift, and that they had never witnessed such generosity by a manufacturer, and that any opposition to this rule was now moot. Which is, what do you call it there? Bullshit. The fact is, there are over 50 patents that go into this technology, and SawStop aggressively protects those patents. They've sued competitors that attempt to develop flesh sensing technology of their own, even when their methods are completely different. They've gone to the International Trade Commission to block imports of products that they claim infringe on their patents. They've sought to extend patents way beyond their normal expiration period. SawStop is definitely not known for being open and generous with their technology. That's just a fact. And through the implementation of this rule, SawStop was, in effect, asking the government to grant them a legally protected monopoly, because it would have left SawStop as the only manufacturer who could actually meet the safety requirements for many, many years to come. And you know, this kind of shady behavior is nothing new. In fact, there's actually a name for it. It's called rent seeking, the practice of manipulating public policy as a strategy for increasing profits. And if you haven't noticed, we happen to be seeing a lot of it these days. But you know what? Sometimes government actually works, because just this week, the Consumer Product Safety Commission put an end to this nonsense. And I want to read what the chairman of the commission had to say. This rulemaking was never about protecting consumers, but instead was a bald-faced market grab to secure a government-sanctioned monopoly. Their repeated refusal to license safety technology on fair terms makes the point plain. Instead of competing in the marketplace, they chose rent-seeking through the regulatory process. Well, guess who won't be sponsoring my channel anytime soon? Now look, I know, I've been sitting behind my own SawStop this whole time. Do I love this saw? Definitely. Would I buy it again? In a second. Would I give it up? Not for anything. I am truly a SawStop fan. There is no doubt their technology has prevented thousands of life-altering injuries, and for that, I am truly grateful. The entire woodworking industry is truly grateful. But do I want our government, in our name, to force everyone who wants to buy a table saw to buy this table saw? Absolutely not. I am definitely not a fan of that. And I'm willing to bet you're not either. Thanks for listening to me rant. Agree, disagree, I welcome your opinion. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Stay safe in your shop, and until next time, adios amigos.